what do we have here? That's a lot of tutorials and documents. I've never flown a drone, but I don't feel like I really need these. We've got this black DJI Spark, and then we've got our DJI purse.
It's not a man purse, it's called a satchel. Indiana Jones wears one.
Alright, batteries are all charged, so let's try this thing out. It's doing something. And it's back off. Gimbal works. Okay, so remember when I said I didn't really need those manuals? We have to do some sort of like setup on it. Try connecting it to that app. Agree. We gotta set up an account. We might have to do a firmware update. Oh no. It says hold this for 9 seconds. Enter password. Guess I should have read the manual. I think we got it. Yeah, I can see myself on the camera. You know, we're looking at ourselves right there. Drone's up behind us. And yeah, we can control it with our palm, I think. I don't know if you can see me or not. Alright, first attempt, not the greatest success, but that might have been my fault. Obviously first time flyer with a drone like this. Alright, attempt number 2. Alright, I think it's a little better this time. And we just had our first crash. So I ended up crashing my drone about 3 times, once from the very top of a tree. So definitely there is a bit of a learning curve when it comes to flying this drone. I mean, you had YouTubers like John Salamita, they made it seem like you could just grab the drone right out of the box and fly it. That actually turned out not to really be the case. So for anyone who's been looking at getting one of these Sparks, I figured I'd give you a few tips on what to do when you first get the drone. It's definitely not as easy to fly as I thought. I mean, it's definitely not idiot-proof. So number 1 is read the fucking manual. If I had just read the manual, I would have saved myself a ton of headaches and issues. Most of the problems that I ended up having when first using my drone were explained in the manual, but I was just an idiot and didn't read it. Number 2 is it's going to take about 2 to 3 hours to get this thing set up. Make sure you do it at home where you have good Wi-Fi, because you're going to be uploading and installing firmware onto the remote and the drone, as well as trying to figure out the Wi-Fi connections for both devices. Number 3, give yourself lots of space when you first fly the drone. Find a big open field where there's not going to be anything to really run into. I had a huge field and still ran into stuff, so you definitely want to give yourself as much open space as possible. Number 4, make sure your auto reconnect is set up for the Wi-Fi for your device. If your drone loses connection with your Wi-Fi and auto reconnect isn't set up, it'll automatically go into return to base mode, which means it'll start flying off on its own back to wherever its starting point was. But if you don't understand what's happening, it seems like your drone is just flying on its own out of control. So it'll kind of freak you out the first time that it happens. So make sure you just have the auto reconnect set up, so if it loses connection for a second, it'll reconnect back on and you can still have control of your drone. And number 5, don't forget about this button right here. That's the stop button for any of the automated flights. So if it's heading towards something that you don't want it to head towards, just hit that button. There's another button in the app. I panicked, didn't know which button to press when my drone was heading towards a tree, and before I realized it, the drone had crashed in and fallen like 100 feet. The drone's fine. Propeller blades kind of got cracked here. The drone still works fine. But that all brings us back to tip number 1. Read And as a bonus tip, it's a little bit more of an advanced topic. You can actually use the little USB connection in the bottom of the remote with the USB connection in your phone to tether the two together. So instead of Wi-Fi, it's over USB connection. Everything's more responsive. You don't lose connection as much. It just makes for a much better experience flying the Spark. All right, so hopefully these tips were helpful for you. I know I wish I'd heard them when I first flew this thing. Now you can benefit from my mistakes. Anyway, subscribe to my channel if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.